Okay, first item on the agenda is the closed session portion of the meeting. May I have a mover and seconder to go into closed session under the authorities as printed in the agenda? Councillor Tedesco. Councillor McDonald. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Okay, report from closed session. The council approved the closed session minutes of the July 18th meeting and discussed some potential litigation and personal matters in closed session. Time being 7:03, I'd like to call this meeting to order. First, we have the traditional territory acknowledgement, followed by a moment of silence. Council of the Township of Red Rock hereby acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of the Robinson Superior Treaty, and that the land we gather on is home to the Red Rock Indian Band, the Anishinaabe, and the Métis people. Administration advises that there is no new amendments to the agenda. Do any members of council wish to make any amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, can I have a mover and seconder for motion to approve the agenda as presented? Councillor Muir, Councillor McDonald. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Are there any declarations of interest to disclose? Seeing none. The minutes of the last regular meeting, July 18th, are at items 5.1 of the agenda. Are there any errors or omissions to note in the minutes? Seeing none, may I have a mover and seconder for a motion to approve the minutes at items 5.1? Councillor Muir, Councillor Tedesco. All in favor? Motion's carried. Okay, correspondence. First item 6.1 is resolutions from other municipalities seeking support. Do any members of council have any questions? Okay, so I will just read the resolution. And is there a mover and seconder for a motion to support the correspondence from the town of South Bruce Peninsula regarding physicians shortage in Ontario? Councillor McDonald. Councillor Muir. All in favor? All hands rising, motion is carried. Okay, next item 6.2 is information purposes only relating to an update from the DSAB board. Do any members of council have any questions? Councillor McDonald.
I guess it is a question. I know that in like the third paragraph, it talks about the Ontario Renovates program. I'm wondering if we could share like that flyer on our website or somewhere, that maybe even on our bulletin board or somewhere. Be nice to just share that with the community.
Yeah, I thought we did, but if not, I'll double check on that for sure, and we can reshare it again. But definitely, we'll look into that for sure.
I have previously handed out forms that we had in the municipal office. Okay. So we do have it on the bulletin, maybe low right now, but we do have some.
I'm almost positive we did, but I will double check.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, next 6.3 is information purposes only relating to the new going to work employment incentive program by the DSAB board. Do any members of council have any questions? Seeing none. 6.4, information purposes only relating to the news release from the province regarding high-speed internet access. Do any members of council have any questions? Councillor Tedesco.
Do we not have relatively high-speed internet around here?
Yeah, this is a commitment from the provincial government to have it in a lot of the rural and remote areas. So what it will do is bring that high-speed internet to a lot of our rural or somebody that lives kind of out on 628 or further that may not have the same speed that we get right here. So this is a commitment from the government to have, I believe it's by 2025.
Yeah.
It's kind of a game changer a bit for someone that doesn't have access to that now.
The next item, 6.5, information purposes only. Relating to Lake Superior North Shore Tourism Project from Superior Country. Do any members of council have any questions? Councillor Tedesco.
I noticed that the introduction to Lake Superior North Shore Tourism Project's mandate is to hire a coordinator. Is that going to be involving cost to our municipality?
I'm not sure I can get you an answer to that. I do have Ashley here, and maybe she can answer that question, please.
So the tourism quarter right now is Suzanne Kuko, who was hired through the partnership between all of the municipalities on the North Shore. So that was a cost sharing program between the municipalities. Red Rock committed $1,000 per year for the 3 years. So they're looking to continue that, whether or not there's still further discussions, whether or not that will be another program where the municipalities contribute to it, similar to what we're doing now, or whether or not that's something Superior Country will do internally and have their own tourism coordinator. So what the introduction in that report is kind of where the project stands now, and we're in year 3 of the North Shore Tourism Project.
So you're talking about it would be a longer range,
Right.
as opposed to say a $1,000 a year range.
Right now, as we stand, we're in year 3 of a 3-year agreement where the Township of Red Rock contributed $1,000 per year.
So this program then, or this concept would be to have a permanent type position. Would that be a Suzanne Kuko position?
That's still kind of yet to be determined. But the report that you're receiving is the report for the agreement that all of the municipalities have signed already.
Mhm. I really like the body of the thing in here where it talks about the pillars and I thought, holy hell, this is really good stuff. It's really well coordinated. I was just kind of wondering when it says, the objective is to hire a coordinator. I'm thinking, are we hiring a coordinator here, a coordinator there?
So that objective to hire a coordinator was achieved when Superior Country hired Suzanne Kuko. So she is the coordinator for this project. That project was funded for 3 years, and the hope is that there will be an opportunity to either extend that or create a new position.
So what this coordinator has brought to the table is this document, right?
Yes.
And what Superior Country is trying to show, right?
Yes.
With what the coordination with all the municipalities does and what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, and what they've
And
completed
continue
so
on.
far. Yeah, what they've completed so far and what the milestones are for the remainder of the project.
Councillor Muir?
Yeah, so this is actually super good stuff. I know we took the kids down, and every time they see a trail sign, they think we can just walk everywhere. They think that if they're in Terrace Bay, they see it, we'll just go there. Let's walk back to Red Rock. So I mean, it's nice seeing signs everywhere. It's perfect, and there's a lot of people out. When we just went to get the oil change, and honestly, there's a lot of people out and about. So this is definitely good stuff.
I'm thinking as well, if I may, that it looks like as if it's going to include more than just our little municipality of Red Rock. It looks, because they're talking about Rossport Marine Access Development programs. It talks about the Indigenous, what was it? Indigenous GF7 tourism product development. It talks about culinary tourism. And so as a result, I'm thinking this is expanding more outside of our little area.
Yes, so this project covered the entire area from Silver Islet to Manitowatch. So they've been doing product development and working with each of the communities to become market ready for tourism, to develop product, to work with various organizations, working with the communities to develop strategies to help increase tourism to the region. So they have done quite a bit, and I believe they are on track to complete all of the project milestones by the end of the project term.
I'm highly, in favor of this, but it also ties into the concept that we need to really underscore and support, and that is that we have needs for economic development, and this is definitely one of the supporting beams of that overall concept. So yeah, I'm very much in favor of that. Thank you.
Councilor Muir.
Yeah, so that Feast On program as well too is pretty awesome to see that, like the local foods. So the partnerships that are starting there with our local farm, our local businesses, that's exactly what you see all the time. I'm a huge, I always watch Chef Ramsay, and that's what they're always saying. It's got to be fresh. It's got to be fresh. So I mean, this is phenomenal. This is good stuff.
Thanks, Ashley. Okay, next up, 6.6, information purposes only relating to the newsletter from the Historical Society. Do any members of council have any questions? Seeing none. Item 6.7, information purposes only relating to an update from the Office of the Fire Marshal regarding firefighter certification. Do any members of council have any questions? Councillor Tedesco.
I think this is a really good concept, and make sure that we have all of our firefighters as trained as best as possible, and also certified so that they will meet the standards. I think it really ties into some other concepts around the firefighting in this area. I believe that the province of Ontario was a little bit quick in trying to ram the certification thing through without perhaps looking into the ramifications. Small communities such as ours that they're going to have a hard time meeting these requirements. But very much in favor, and let's hope it goes ahead.
Councillor Muir.
Yeah, so being based on the grant for the applications, I got full confidence that the Township of Red Rock and the staff can definitely nail this one out of the park. So yeah, this township's very good for writing grants. So really happy to see this.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's why I shared it with you for a couple of reasons, to show that we are there is that amount of money out there. But the other reason is the fact that it just shows what lobbying does. A lot of times it shows that what the voices that sometimes we have as municipal staff and you have as councillors get listened to. So that's good news. It's not a substantial amount of money, but it's certainly something. And some of the other parameters of the mandatory training have also been altered slightly to be a little friendlier for the smaller communities. So again, it works, and it shows that our voices get heard. So.
Okay, moving on. First, we have a report, 8.1, report from the Director of Operations. Mr. Westerman, do any members of council have any questions? Councillor Muir.
No questions, but great work on the Folk Fest. That was a lot of fun for a lot of people, and I know we were short staffed that weekend, but you guys kept her together. That was awesome, honestly. Good work on that.
Yeah, it looked like it was well attended.
It was beautiful. It was honestly such a good event this year.
Maybe you can just give us a quick update on the Brompton Road, the stage that they're at.
Well, as it says in my report, everything's on schedule. Everyone's back on system water as of the 20th of July. And all the buried infrastructure, the water, the sanitary mains, everything's storm, all completed. So basically it's just prep work now. With keeping in mind they have to come back at some point and do that looping up the main on the easement, the trail. That'll be the last portion of the project. But yeah, everything's coming along well. And while I'm at it, I just wanted to point out concerning the lift stations. Since I wrote the report, we were made aware that funding is that's been made available on behalf of the federal government as well. So we're ready to move ahead on that project.
Mark, maybe you can just comment on what that is.
Yeah, certainly. Just to go back to the Brompton, just for one follow-up as well. We residents may see a slight decline in actual work that's being done in the next little bit. There will be a little break as we move into subcontractors and that type of situation. So there you may see a period where, or you will see a period where there may not be a lot going on in that area, where then they will be back. We will make sure that area is secure and handy and accessible. But again, the project is fully on target for completion. There's no issues there, other than we do run into some. They are a bit ahead of schedule, and we will see some delays in right on the section. As for the wastewater collection, the lift stations, really good news that came into the office this morning. Really good news for Red Rock. It's a project that we've been working on for a few months now. We thought we kind of identified the lift stations as something, in my opinion, that should have been a big part of our wastewater facility moving forward. We reached out to both levels of government probably about 4 or 5 months ago now. It took a bit of time to get that full approval, but as of today, we now have 100% approval from the province and the federal level to fully rehabilitate and rebuild our 2 existing lift stations. The work will begin on that as early as tomorrow on our end, basically paperwork wise, going through the process of what we need to do to make it happen. We're optimistic that we can hopefully have this completed by the end of this year, 2022. If it does happen to stretch into the next year, 2023, it's fully approved for that as well. We were granted an extension if need be for that. But our full intention is to have it done this year. It's again really good news. I don't want to put a dollar value on it at this point, but it will be a significant project and a significant savings for Red Rock moving forward, because we don't have to take that money out of our personal bank account for this project. It's a fully funded project that's tied into an existing project. So it's really good news moving forward.
Councillor Tedesco.
Sorry to be taking up so much time by asking so many questions. Congratulations, Blair, on the August safety meeting. I noticed there's mention of evaluation of trucks and equipment for proper PPE. What's the situation with our trucks? I understand that our garbage truck has finally gone to the great big dump in the sky.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that in my last report, actually, that it wasn't likely to pass safety, and it expired in July. So we've made an arrangement to use Nipians temporarily. And we've recently come across a deal from the city of Thunder Bay to acquire a garbage truck. Well, it's yet to be determined how we're going to use that in the partnership, but it's a relief to find a backup. And that's what was required of us.
You mentioned that there was evaluation of trucks and equipment. What's your guesstimate? Is this going to be sort of like a, oh my goodness, we're kind of in bad shape, or are we in pretty good shape overall? Because remember,
Well,
we had
sorry to cut you off there. There's no secret we have an aging fleet.
Yeah.
But we're making do.
How's our backhoe excavator? Not excavator.
Well, it's still running. Nothing's changed there. It's still usable. We're still getting offers from suppliers, but I mean, it's a question of money, right? I mean, that's a big investment for this town. So we have to make sure we're careful. And I know we need to get through these projects as a priority before we start looking to spend that kind of money. So that's where we're at with that.
Thank you, Mark.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, is there a mover and seconder for motion to receive the report? Councillor McDonald. Oops, 2 Ds. Councillor Muir. All in favor? Motion's carried. Okay, next item 8.2. Thanks, Blair. A report from the Community Development Officer. Ashley has a detailed report. So any questions or comments to Ashley? Councillor Muir.
It's a lot of good news on this report. It's like, it's just reading through it, it's good. So just a couple things that I noted, like some of the really awesome stuff was that strat plan, like on E, when we worked with the community. I can't express how happy I am that we have that. We have that plan, right? The community plan profile and the strategic plan. So the great work on that, honestly. I just wanted to touch base to see with regards to the Golden Club. Do you have a little bit more information or timeline or?
So we've received further inquiries from the funders. So they were requiring 2 more pieces of information and final commitment letters or statements from an additional contributor to the new van. So the fact that they reached out and are looking for more information is a good sign that they're at the point of reviewing the application. So it's going to be at least a few more weeks to a month until they make a decision from that point minimum, just with the way things work. So, but that is good news that at least they've gotten to the point of reviewing that application and they had further questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments to Ashley's report?
There is one clarification in section E. Since I wrote this report, there was an update on the total value spent by the community. One portion of the project was not funded by one of the funders. So there was an increase of about $380. So our total municipal contribution is now $7,018.98. So that's the only adjustment there is. The overall project did come under budget. And then for item H, there is an additional resolution that is required to enter into an agreement for the active transportation fund.
Okay, any other questions or comments for Ashley's report? Councillor McDonald.
I just want to say, going through, yeah, I do agree. It's nice to see like completed, approved. Yeah, so good work.
Thank you.
Okay, is there a mover and seconder for a motion to enter an agreement with the Minister of Infrastructure and Communities for the Permanent Public Transportation Program and Active Transportation Fund for the Red Rock Active Transportation Improvement Plan? Councillor Muir? Councillor McDonald? All in favor? All hands rising, motion is carried. Is there a mover and seconder for motion to receive the report, the community development report? That's okay. Councillor Tedesco and Councillor McDonald. All in favor? All hands rising, motion is carried. Next item 8.3, report on administrative activities. Do any members of council have any questions of Mr. Figurini?
I can give some updates certainly through that without any question. So MTO basically on the bridge at Trout Creek, I sure have went over it numerous times with the big dip on the bridge. Both both Blair and I met with them on site last week. They've committed to a temporary repair. They're supposed to get back to us here probably early this week. But they're on that. We're looking at a temporary repair to get that fixed as soon as we can, with hopefully what is a long-term solution moving forward. So that's undergo. PSD citywide, I know we were granted, along with many other communities, an extension to September 1st. So that's where we are now, to have the what they call the AMP, or the Asset Management Plan, fully completed and presented to you as a council. It was initially supposed to happen this evening. They requested that it happens they're gathering a bit more information, and we'll be back to you at one of the two meetings, hopefully the first meeting in September, at which point then that will be able to be provided to the province, and we can implement that plan. So it's been a work in progress. It's one that we kind of started maybe a quarter way through the process and picked up, but it's back on track. It's back on schedule. It's a complicated document, and like I said, hopefully we have it here to present to you at the next meeting, where PSD will be here to present that to you. As you saw in the previous report, our Ashley Davis, our CDO, is back in the office, not on a full-time basis yet, but I'll definitely take her back in a part-time role that leads to full-time very shortly. Happy to have her back, and happy to see that her health is getting to where it needs to be, which is first and foremost. We together as a group, we mustered our way through, and I thank everyone that picked up the slack and on our team for that. So. But yeah, happy to have Ashley back, and happier to see her healthy again. So that's that. I attended the Thunder Bay City Council meeting a couple of weeks ago, based on the EMS consolidation between Nippigan and Red Rock, as well as other North Shore communities. I can announce that a decision was made at Thunder Bay City Council level to implement the consolidation of the Nippigan Red Rock base. It's a little early in the process to exactly see what that means, but what they've committed to do is rolling up their sleeves, as they put it, and working together with the communities to see if where this plan goes. In my opinion, the plan has many holes. Personally been down this road one time before, as in a previous role that I had. It was pushed to the side and moved to this stage. What we can commit, and what the mayor has committed is in a statement, is that we'll do everything we can to maintain the services for the residents of Red Rock. What that means is still left to be unfolded, but we'll certainly continue with whatever we can do to provide that service. So that's the focus, and I can take any questions if anyone has any on EMS, but that's certainly that update. I can take them at the end. The only other updates I do have are simply notes. Just as a reminder, the deadline for filing for the 2022 municipal election is 2 p.m. this coming Friday. We will be open in the office that day. Right through till the 2 o'clock hour. So that's so that we certainly don't miss anybody that may want to file for that. On a sad note, I can announce that Courtney Van Horn, who has handed in an official resignation as an NOHFC intern, really sad to see her go. She did a fantastic job in her short term, but again, when you make a decision based on family, it's my opinion again. Give my opinion a lot, but it's never a bad decision when you make a decision based on your family. So I wish Courtney, I thank her and wish her all the best moving forward. And just generally make a statement that, I mean, as a group, I'd like to just take that quick moment to thank each and everybody, because we're really doing a lot of good things as a staff and as a council moving forward. So we were dealt a pretty, it wasn't an easy little bit, but we're getting our way through it. So again, thanks to everyone for that.
Any questions or comments on Mark's report? No? Oh, Councillor Muir?
Test one. Thank you, Mark. Sorry about that. Thanks for everything, honestly, because I mean, you're doing fantastic work. And thank you for going to that council meeting. I was able to watch it after the fact. My personal opinion, this does not reflect anybody else on council, is that vote could have been deferred to the next council. That's my personal opinion. My personal opinion on that is it could have been deferred to the next council because they have a tendency to defer votes. So I was very disappointed to see that. I really was. As a person that travels the highway, has friends, family that travel the highway between Beardmore, it was not about money, but they immediately saved money. That comment was made later down the road. The other thing too was the word only 6, I believe it was only 6 accidents. 6 accidents too many. 1 accident's too much. So it's unfortunate. And I guess the North Shore will fight this. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think the key word that you used, and I'll use it, and I think I did use it in a few different interviews that I did on this topic, is disappointment. I truly was disappointed in that decision that evening, and yeah, I think as we move forward with working together, I guess I see where it unfolds, but definitely disappointment is a really good word.
Okay, is there a mover and seconder for motion to receive the report? Councillor Muir, Councillor Tedesco. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Okay, next item 8.4 is a report on the sale of the 19 Rankin Street property. Do members of council have any questions of administration? Seeing none, is there a mover and a seconder for motion to approve the sale of 19 Rankin Street in the amount of $23,500, including HST? Councillor Muir, Councillor Tedesco. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Item 8.5 is information purposes only regarding a report on Red Rock Bridge number 1. Do members of council have any questions of administration? Seeing none. Okay, next item 9.1 is a bylaw to provide for advance votes in the Township of Red Rock. Does council have any questions of administration? Seeing none, is there a mover and seconder for motion to approve the bylaw? Councillor McDonald. Councillor Tedesco. All in favor? All hands rising, motion is carried. Okay, item 9.2 is a bylaw to delegate authority to the outgoing council to authorize the issue of debentures for capital works in the Township of Red Rock. Does council have any questions of administration? Okay, is there a mover and seconder for motion to approve the bylaw? Councillor Muir, Councillor McDonald. All in favor? Motion is carried. Okay, there's no new business. Unfinished business of the prescribed burn plans for the Ministry of Northern Development. We all know the area. This is the second notice that we have received.
Yeah, I just brought this back because I wanted to give Councillor McDonald an update on her question. They really can't give a 100% time frame, but they did give me a next week or the week after. And so it will happen, I guess, in that time frame. Whether it is up to the MNRF to give notice to the residents. So they plan to do that 48 to 72 hours prior to ignition. And they're not sure yet who they will notify. So they're going to get back to me next week. So I assume that notification will come to me and then we'll share that. It may go, that's the best answer I can give you as of today. So the next couple of weeks, and they will notify 48 to 72 hours in advance.
It's almost like you were the first person to ask them that question. Like they didn't know what to tell you.
I think I might have been, yeah.
Councillor Tedesco?
Mark, this prescribed burn, is this going to be like burning of piles, or is this going to be like, say, X number of hectares of property? The reason I'm asking is that apparently after a good burn, it's fantastic blueberry picking.
Yeah, I'd have to get you an answer to that. I assume it's a hectare controlled burn, I would assume. I should have more information from them next week, apparently on the notification. I can certainly ask that question.
Okay, next item is bylaw to confirm proceedings of council. Can I have a mover and seconder for motion to pass the bylaw? Councillor Muir, Councillor McDonald. All in favor? All hands rising, motion is carried. Time being 7:38, and there's no other business to tend to, the meeting is over. Thank you.